What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. We're talking about the top 10 longest lasting Middle Eastern fragrances. These are going to be Middle Eastern niche, but don't let that steer you away because a lot of these are still more affordable than a lot of designers. It's absolutely ridiculous to me that a lot of people don't know about these. So if you want to, or if you just stumbled across this video, hit that subscribe button because welcome to a whole new world of fragrance. They're fragrances that smell good. They're not all, listen, just because it comes from the Middle East doesn't mean it smells like pits or spices or cooking spices. We've got a lot of good ass fragrances that'll get you rizzed up, mogged, whatever the hell you want to call it. They'll seal the deal, bro. They'll seal the deal. So let's go ahead and get started with one of the first fragrances that a lot of people already know about. This is saffron. It's metallic. It's super damn loud and strong. It's got a lot of rose and cacao. It's not going to be for everybody, so if you're a little scared or, you know, not really the most confident, then I would stay away from this. It's called Risala by Arabian Oud. The performance for all of these, let me just preface by saying that they're all nuclear stuff. This one has a unisex quality to it. The rose really does emphasize on that, and the saffron makes this one extremely loud, sparkling, and just projecting like crazy. The cacao starts to shine once it starts to dry down, and it does smell like kind of that Lancome Oud bouquet once upon a time. Very, very strong stuff. So it is unisex, and the performance, like I said, is just across the board's 10s. The occasions for this is special events only, and that's gonna kind of translate into a lot of these fragrances unless I specify otherwise. This is special events only, including dates. The seasons for this would be the fall, the winter, and the early springtime. Do not try and rock this during the summertime unless you've got some serious cojones, and ladies, that applies to you as well. The cojones and not applying. You still can. Have I? Yes, I have. But what kind of influence would I be to tell you guys, just rock it. Just rock, do it. Rock it in this. All right, no, best seasons is gonna be as stated, fall, winter, and early spring, and that's pretty much it. A lot of times when we're working with long-lasting beastly mode projecting fragrances, they're gonna be fragrances that have a lot of molecules or notes that are richer, warmer, ambery, and spicy, right? Sweet. It's not really gonna be the most common with fresh fragrances unless they're very metallic and abrasive. It's just the way that the molecules are created. So a lot of these are going to be more so in that realm, but if there are certain ones here that have fresh aspects that you can push the boundaries with. Next one up is another fragrance that's absolutely nuclear stuff because it has a lot of that saffron as well, except it adds orange flower and a hefty dose of caramel. It does still have the rose, but it also adds orange flower. I did say orange flower. This is called Asil Special Edition, one of my favorite from Arabian Oud. If you want to smell like royalty, this has vibes of like Altair, but this is niched out even more so than Altair. It's cheaper than Altair, but I have to mention that this is safe compared to this. This one has like cinnamon, whereas this one takes it up a notch and gives you an oriental spiced metallic style of saffron. I don't like metallic, and generally speaking, it, you know, if it's something synthetic, it'll give me a headache. This is not the case with these. It smells like a pretty damn good saffron note, and it also douses it in some of that caramel. Floral notes get attention on men, gentlemen, and the rose in this one is pretty amped up slightly enough for women to even be able to pull it off. I've gotten compliments every single time I've rocked this, but this is also going to be reserved for special events and probably dates. The seasons for this one's going to be fall, winter, and springtime as well. On to the next fragrance. This is one where you'll get a little bit more versatility, gentlemen, and since we're talking about long lasting and we want a freshie, Capri is a freshie that smells a lot like Armani Code Profumo, except it adds even more of that incense. So it's got this aquatic woody fresh with slightly incense vibe that lasts literally all day. If you guys have been wanting the discontinued Armani Code Profumo in its potency and strength, this will outdo that, toning down a little bit of that patchouli. Occasions for this all year round, everywhere. It's long lasting, but it's not as long lasting as this one, and that's why I had to pull this off of the shelf. Nevertheless, it's still a good one, and I do feel like you guys deserve a good performing freshie. We all deserve a good performing freshie, right? From the Middle East. So it's called Capri. However, Imperial Valley, is the signature scent of the Middle East for now, right now, really. It's an aromatic, fresh leather style musk fragrance. Yeah, it's something that people can wear and do wear all year round. All of these are obviously not going to be the most familiar scent profiles for us here in the West, but in the East, it definitely is. It also feels like they might have used the note of cask cologne or cologne, which gives it like this watery capsule feel that literally just adds like a water vibe to it that gives it a bit of a freshness, so you can get away with this all year round. Aromatic, musky, slightly fresh, and leathery. Performance for this is all day nuclear. On days, this on clothing. It's not gonna go anywhere. Projection, room filler, and you're gonna smell like royalty. In terms of the occasions, you could dress it up, and I wouldn't really say dress it down. Mild and dressed up. This is a phenomenal ass fragrance. The seasons all year round. Not only is this one of the longest lasting, but my favorite gourmands. It's cherry, maple syrup, and woods. It's called Memories de Gate Paris. Although it says Paris, the owner of this is an Arabic gentleman he's a really good guy. Love this guy. Aside from the love for the guy, who cares about that? Seriously, if he had shit juice, I'd tell him straight to his face, or probably just not even talk about them ever. But the Memories is literally the best cherry maple syrup fragrance you will ever get your nose on. It is so addicting and syrupy and strong. This shit is not going anywhere. If you want to be licked, spray it in the areas that you want to. Don't ever do that. It's going to burn. Seriously bad. Memories. It'll create some memories. And the seasons for this is going to be just to the fall and the winter time. Wow. Wow. Maple syrup, bro, with some cherry. Wow, that's good. That's really good.
Oh, tight, yeah.
Occasions for this would be special events and dates, and that's pretty much it. Next, Mob Boss, Arab Boss Money right here. This has history. This, who gives a It smells like Arab money, but it's a very acquired taste. It does have an old school feel to it. The ambergris is very naturalistic smelling, which means that it's gonna be salty, very tart and intense, but it also backs it up with an intense lemon. And not only that, it also backs that up with a pretty raunchy ass incense and oud. So this took me a whole, like, almost a year to get into. It also, Boadicea has a version called Blue Sapphire, which they basically took this DNA and softened it out. But this is where it all started. It's raunchy, it's lemony, it's got some of that lily, a lot of that lily of the valley, kind of giving it a soapy vibe over all of that. Incensey, intensive ass ambergris. It's next level stuff. You have never smelled anything like this before. It's not going to be for the younger crowd, guys, if they're just, you know, a lot of people that will praise this fragrance, but they don't say, like, dude, it's very polarizing and it's gonna take you time. It took me time to get into this shit, and it was like very raunchy, oudy, incensey, lemony, salty. It was just like, where the hell do I even start? But after that, I fell absolutely in love with it, and I crave it because there's nothing like this anywhere. Certain quality you just can't mimic. You cannot mimic a certain level of quality, and that's the case with this one. Ow, that hurt. Man, this Samir Oud Intense needs to get the hell out of here. Anyways, in terms of the performance, days, nuclear, let's not even go there, but the occasions, special events. Office, if you're CEO. If you run that B word and you walk in there rocking this, oh my God. Or if you're like a sheikh with like a beard, you know, you're just going into the mosque on like Ramadan and you're just like, hear ye, I got something to say. That's what it is for, bro. Seasons, okay, look, it's gonna be the best for fall and winter and maybe even early spring, but I'll be honest, and I rocked it and say that I rocked it during the summer. The ambergris, the salty, fresh nature to it allows you to wear it, but it might not be the best. In the summer, maybe 2 sprays max, but it still works all year round. It's just next level stuff. On to the next fragrance. This is not gonna be for everybody either. This is straight up oud in every animalic way. It's got it in the barnyardy and ambery way, and it also has it in the fruity and dusted woods way. The fruity and whole dusty vibes I get usually with Cambodian oud. I'm not the biggest fan of Cambodian oud, honestly, at all, actually. And then there's a note of musk and Indian oud. I love the Indian oud. It's ambery, it's warm, sometimes sweet, resinous as well, but it does come with that barnyardy vibe. It opens up with Cambodian oud. I don't like the opening, but as it starts to dry down, it gets so good. The quality of this, it smells really good. And I think for a sprayable version, this might be like one of the best ones you can get at this price point for an authentic smelling fragrance. Until you start going into lesser known houses like Maxim Perfumes, where they actually distill their own oud and go into, this is gonna be the highest and mainstream, if you will, fragrance that uses authentic smelling ouds, at least for this one, that has the double combination. Not gonna be safe for everybody. People are always praising this fragrance for good reason, but it is not safe, okay? In terms of how long it lasts, it's gonna be there all day, all week, forget all day, okay? And the occasions, special events only. I would personally only wear this for like a wedding and maybe even during a funeral, and that's it. Like, and during the fall and winter, probably even during other seasons, just like at night. Honestly, it doesn't matter. I would wear wear oud even in the summertime, actually. But less appropriate, just I would personally. Also pretty expensive because you are getting high quality ingredients. I still think that it's a bit pricey, but you are getting the quality of ingredients. On to the next one. Speaking of Indian oud, this one I love. I genuinely love this one because it's not just Indian oud. It smells high quality. It's like less than 250 bucks, and you're getting an aromatic woody fragrance that you'll get with a lot of other familiar Middle Eastern fragrances such as Amiri and Sultani, except you get an authentic addition of Indian oud, or at least authentic smelling. It's ambery, it's resinous, a little bit sweet and animalistic. This is called Rali by Oud. This has that aromatic, woody, Kashmiran style DNA that you'll find in a lot of those Middle Eastern fragrances, that musky vibe, but it also adds, like I said, that oud. Lasts also for days on clothing, and it's room filling. This is one that I've worn personally to like weddings, funerals, get-togethers, etc. I love rocking this one, and more so during the fall, the winter, and the early springtime, but it's very, very loud. You do have to be careful with the trigger, and you're getting the quality worth, or the price, for the price that you're paying for. One of the best value. Next one up is Jammy. It's fruity, it's crazy. It puts Tom Ford's Bitter Peach to shame. This is called Madawi's 40-year edition gold. The original one is not as good as this one, plain and simple. This one is absolutely nuclear. It smells like marmalade, like jammy ass pineapple. I think it's got pineapple blossom and also peaches. And that's exactly what it smells like. You just jammed it up and you're serving it on a plate with some florals, basically. It is pretty feminine in my opinion, but some gentlemen like to rock this, and hey, if you like it, cool. If you like fragrances like Bitter Peach by Tom Ford, this is next level stuff, and it will absolutely put that thing to shame. And I like the addition of the pineapple blossom. It kind of gives it a little bit more aspect rather than just a cloying peach. So yeah, a great fragrance that performs and lasts for days, and I sprayed this one time about 6 times. Big ass mistake. The occasions for this is going to be special events, honestly, where you want to be noticed and things like that. And the season is going to be best for is like spring, early spring, fall, and the winter time. It's just so damn strong that I would not recommend it for the summertime. Next one up is from Junaid Perfumes, and I sprayed this on and it was on my clothes for like 3 days until I washed it off. On skin, it lasted about 10 to 12 hours. This is called Atiq by Junaid Perfumes, one of the cheapest ones on this list for like $65 or less. Check the links down in the description for all of these that you can get in the States, and actually some of these shipped worldwide for the lowest prices. And also my code will save you some cash on a lot of those, and they're authentic. They're not no fakies over here. Atiq is like 65 bucks. After the code, it's around 50, and it smells like tonka bean. It's got cardamom, also this mandarin style citrus at the top that's kind of sweet and with a syrupy vibe to it, and maybe even some leather. It places me in Armani Code Profumo vibes. The reason why it's not exactly like that is because the vanilla or the sweet tonka smells more aromatic and musky than something of that creamy Armani Code Profumo. So it is more aromatic, it's more musky, a bit more spiced. The cardamom is more pronounced in this one as well. I'm just putting you in a vein of family fragrances. It smells like if La Nuit de l'Homme had a baby with Armani Code Profumo. Think of how sexy that sound. That's what this one smells like. Absolutely intoxicating ass fragrance with an intoxicating scent trail that'll last all day. The performance for this one is going to be to the next day, and it's a room filler, and the occasions is hanging out with the bros, dates, special events, and I don't know about the office. It's very strong. Seasons, best for, it's going to be the fall, the winter, and the early spring. I think every man should have this in their collection if they like exotic, vanillic, and spiced fragrances. So sexy. Last but not least, Amouage Royal Tobacco. This lasts for days, and the beauty of this fragrance is the recreation of something that I grew up with, which is Omani bridal bakhur and Yemeni bridal bakhur. And bakhur basically means incense, and what there is classifications to it. When I say bridal, it's the classification of certain combination of oils that gives a certain scent that would classify it as bridal. I don't know the exact blends that they do, but it just smells the highest of end, right? It's got a lot of these spices, aromatics, and authentic smelling oud as well. And this fragrance recreates exactly that. The best bakhur is bridal bakhur, and usually from Yemen and Oman. Obviously, being an Omani house, it's probably going to be the Omani bakhur. However, if you don't, or you're not familiar with incense or bakhur, you're gonna smell this in a completely different realm and aspect. It's very spicy, very aromatic. It's got this like cooking herbs vibe to it. A lot of tobacco and animalic oud. I love this stuff. Love this stuff. It's got a very heavy, smoky, incensey birch tar nature to it, because it does have birch and birch tar. Phenomenal, lasts all day. say, if you don't like those spices that smells like stuff in the kitchen, you're not gonna like it. But if you know those vibes I'm talking about, then you might really, really enjoy this. Sophisticated, smells elegant, smells like money. All these smell like money. Most of these are less than like 200 bucks, and you're getting performance, you're gonna get something that stands out. A few of these were AROMATIX, so be careful with the ones that I described, but a few banger ass fragrances for like show stopping. If you're going to clubs, bro, Asil and Risala, if you're going to clubs, including this one, bro. And if you're one that like just wants to melt in people's mouths and club and all, this is such a utility one. The rest of these are like exotics. So hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.